in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News Today.
A warm, breezy, and humid start to our week. We're expecting another hotter than average day. Good morning, I'm Tom Miller.
Good morning, I'm Sally Hernandez. Kristen is here to give us an update on what this morning is going to look like.
Yeah, it should be a little bit better fog-wise. We were pretty much sucked in with the cloud yesterday morning, but temperatures keep climbing. So let me show you what I got for you on this Monday. We begin with a live look outside. Whittlesey Landscape Supplies weather camera there in Granite Shoals. You could see that cloud blanket that we've got up top. But as far as the fog goes underneath, we don't have any spots of dense fog. Why? A little bit more wind out there overnight and into this morning, so that helped keep from everything kind of settling down. We will be watching maybe some spots of low clouds, but it should not be anything widespread. Temperatures even warmer than what we had yesterday morning. 64 in Austin, 66 Georgetown, 55 a cooler spot in Llano, 63 for my friends at LaGrange. Everybody up about 2 to 7 degrees as we start the day. Now the warming trend will continue, but maybe about 1 to 2 degrees warmer today compared to what we had yesterday. Not as pronounced for the later part of the day. Mid-70s for your noontime. We've got a high of 82 today, running about 7 degrees warmer than normal for this time in November. Coming up in your first warning forecast, it is going to be warm and humid to start the week. We'll talk about that muggy meter. We've got a late week weather maker that brings in some cooler temperatures, more wind, as well as some rain. And we'll take a look at some of those early rainfall totals coming up in your first warning forecast.
Kristen, thank you. As artificial intelligence becomes more prominent, Texas lawmakers are taking a look at how the state uses this type of technology.
They created a council to oversee and study the benefits and the risks of AI. Ryan Chandler looks at the steps ahead.
What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? What does it mean to be autonomous?
The Texas legislature was designed to move slow, but technology is moving at light speed. Texas is now working to keep pace with the next frontier.
We have a responsibility from the state's perspective to try and catch up and to come up with those guardrails to make sure that our constituents are protected from the most negative possible consequences of this.
State Representative Giovanni Capriglione is leading the charge. The state's new Artificial Intelligence Advisory Council is trying to harness the benefits of AI while minimizing the bad, weighing its uses for business and law enforcement, considering the ethics, and protecting cybersecurity.
As the most consequential technology of our time.
The Biden administration also working to get ahead of AI. The president signing an executive order last week to implement regulations against its threats.
This landmark executive order is a testament to what we stand for: safety, security, trust, openness.
Texas, naturally, not waiting on the feds to take the lead.
What I'm hoping is that Texas can lead in creating a model on reasonable regulations for artificial intelligence that hopefully one day the federal government will look to and copy.
Ryan Chandler, KXAN News.
Governor Abbott was supposed to appoint members to the AI Advisory Council by October 1st, but that's been delayed by the legislature's special sessions. The representative that you heard from in Ryan's story says the work will start once the other legislative work winds down.
And as we go in depth on this, earlier this week, leaders from nearly 30 countries met in London at the first ever Global AI Summit. There they announced new global incentives to reduce the risks of AI and pledged to work together on international safeguards and regulations. 30 different nations have signed on to this declaration to make sure that AI use by the military is compliant with international humanitarian law.
There are some high-profile trials in Central Texas that continue today, and one outside of Texas. Former President Donald Trump expected to take the stand in New York in the $250 million civil fraud trial against his family and their company. His daughter, Ivanka Trump, is also expected to take the stand this week. Trump's sons, Eric and Donald Jr., testified last week.
Back here at home, Caitlin Armstrong's murder trial continues into its second week. Armstrong's boyfriend at the time, Colin Strickland, taking the stand again today. Armstrong is accused of shooting and killing pro cyclist Mo Wilson at an East Austin home last year. The state is currently questioning Strickland. He spent the day with Wilson before prosecutors say Armstrong shot and killed her.
And the murder trial of Austin police officer Christopher Taylor, that continues today as well in Travis County. Taylor is accused of shooting and killing Michael Ramos back in 2020 during a police incident there. After the state rested on Wednesday, the defense started to present its case late in the week, and then the testimony continues later on today.
Overseas now, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Turkey this morning. He is meeting with the Turkish foreign minister during his Mideast and Asia tour. Blinken's visit coming amid the Israel-Hamas war.
The two held a brief but public greeting where they shook hands and took pictures before quickly heading back to discuss matters between Israel and Hamas. The trip marks Blinken's first visit to Turkey since the war broke out back on October 7th. Have you changed your clocks yet? I hope so. You may be late or early to a few things. The ways daylight saving time actually impact your commute.
And we're going back and talking about more with artificial intelligence, how a New Jersey school district says students use it to generate inappropriate images of classmates. Good morning. This is a live look out from Granite Shoals. You can see some clouds in the sky overhead. Kristen tracking our forecast, and you'll notice it is a little warm, somewhat uncomfortable outside, certainly for November. She'll have more in just a bit. Austin City staffers are talking today, reminding you to be careful while driving. It's an awareness campaign kicking off now because the evening commute going to be a lot darker.
Yeah, they're going to share some safety tips because we lose hours of daylight saving time during the peak hours of the traveling when it comes to your evening commute. Our traffic anchor Erica Brennis has more.
The daily commute is about to change along with the time. For the next 4 months, a lot of you will be driving to work in the daylight, but driving home in the dark.
When you're looking at the morning commute, one of the biggest concerns from a traffic safety standpoint is the time change and the disturbance it can cause to sleep patterns.
AAA Texas says if you get less than 5 hours of sleep and then get behind the wheel, it can be just as dangerous as driving drunk.
It's so important to make sure that you get plenty of sleep when you get behind the wheel.
During the evening commute, drivers will need to get used to driving home in the dark or in some cases directly into the sunset.
The sunset, especially if you're driving into the west in your commute, so the light change can have an effect on us. It can cause us to be more drowsy because the sun's going down seemingly earlier.
And keep an eye out for those sharing the road.
Especially in a city like Austin where you have a lot of pedestrians, a lot of cyclists. That time change can also make it just harder to see pedestrians and cyclists in general.
In Austin, Erica Brennis, KXAN News.
Thank you, Erica. And then, of course, we're going to change our clocks back in spring on March 10th.
Still ahead, how a local community college is working to help out with the Central Texas teacher shortage.
How a mistaken 911 call led to an officer running around Texas to support a local animal rescue.
Wild finishes in the NFL on Sunday in Houston, and the Cowboys' heartbreak in Philadelphia. I've got it for you coming up.
Good Monday morning, everyone. It's November the 6th as we take a live look outside for you to start off your day. Hope you had a nice, relaxing weekend. Kristen is back with a check on your forecast in just the next few minutes. But first, to your news. A victim of the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine is in stable condition this morning after being upgraded from critical condition. That's according to the hospital.
And it means that all 3 of those patients still being treated are now listed as stable. Police say the gunman in connection to that shooting killed 18 people and wounded 13 others. Central Maine Medical Center assembled a team of more than a dozen surgeons, more than 100 other healthcare professionals on the night of that shooting. Central Maine healthcare leaders say they are grateful that the surviving patients being treated continue to improve and get well. There's going to be fewer flights for you out of Austin next year as American Airlines is cutting routes at the Austin airport.
Yeah, according to American Airlines, a spokesperson there says the company will adjust its flight schedule and cut some routes starting next year. But the spokesperson did not say how many would be cut. The airline will contact customers whose flights may be impacted. The most recent airport passenger report, which looked at August traffic, showed American passenger totals were down around 9% compared to last year. This is the second airline to cancel Austin routes in recent weeks. Last month, Virgin Airlines said that it would suspend its Austin to London route in January. The holiday shopping season just a few days away from kicking into full gear, but now more and more retailers are implementing a fee when you make a return.
The surge in returns started during the pandemic when people had to exclusively shop online. It quickly became common to order several items, maybe different colors or sizes, but the plan was only to keep one, the one that worked, and then return the rest. Those costs are quickly catching up to stores, big and small, across the country, and begging the question, are days of free returns numbered? Coming up on Today, the data and insight from experts.
Ouch.
That'd be a game changer.
Yeah, it's really nice when you can order things and return it for free.
Yeah, and just kind of like leave it as is. Like, you don't even have to put it in a bag. You don't have to put it in a box. Like, you just literally show up with that item at Kohl's or the
convenient.
post office.
Kohl's drop off.
It's so nice. Oh, that's such a blow if that happens. Let me show you what's going on with your forecast here. Hopefully you enjoyed the weekend. Temperature's not bad. 79 on Saturday. We hit 80 yesterday. We're going to turn up the thermometer just a couple of degrees here heading into the new work week. Radar quiet. Not seeing anything out there. As far as what we've got up top, it's just some high clouds, and those are going to be with us the entire day. Not seeing any dense fog this morning. We really shouldn't. Some low clouds are certainly possible, but the areas of zero visibility we had yesterday, that shouldn't happen again just because our winds are a little bit stronger this morning. Whittlesey Landscape Supplies weather camera giving us this view from Liberty Hill. Current temperature there, 67. We've got most of us in the 60s. Here's a look at those current visibilities. As you can see, reduced visibility, yes, but not widespread dense fog. I mean, yesterday at this time we had about a mile or less across the 35 corridor and eastward, so a big improvement. But when we come to the later part of the day, I think our sky conditions will pretty much look the exact same as what we had on Sunday afternoon, and that's going to be the high clouds with filtered sunshine. 76 by noon. Forecast high 82. We've got most of us in the upper 70s to low 80s later today. Let me jump to Wednesday, because on Wednesday we're going to be watching an approaching cold front that's likely to impact us starting Thursday. Now, whether that's Thursday morning or Thursday evening, we still need some better data to sort that out. Models are a little uncertain as to the exact timing, but the impacts will be the same, and that's going to be scattered to widespread rain, gusty north winds behind this front, and cooler temperatures. Now, early look at some of the potential rainfall, about 1/4 of an inch to an inch. You'll notice higher amounts in our eastern counties here. The Weather Prediction Center has already issued a marginal risk of a flash flood threat here on Thursday. That's a 1 out of 4, but we could see some downpours in there. I think a lot of this is just going to be shower activity, not a whole lot of thunderstorms, but maybe a few will sneak in there. It's something we're going to be watching for. 7-day forecast, 80s today, mid to upper 80s Tuesday and Wednesday. Fewer clouds, a little more sunshine there. And then the cold front coming in on Thursday. 60% chance of storms and showers. We're going to continue that Thursday night into Friday. You'll notice the temperatures dropping. We're getting that fall-like feel back here with highs in the 60s Friday into Veterans Day weekend. Still uncertainty as to just how high those rain chances will go this weekend. We'll play conservative at this point at 10% on Saturday, 30% on Sunday, but be sure you're staying with us for updates as we get closer.
Kristen, thank you. We want to know, who is a remarkable woman in your life? We're sharing inspiring stories here in Central Texas. We need your help. Tell us about that woman who inspires you. So you can go to our website, KXAN.com, to nominate someone from your community. Look for the Remarkable Woman tab right on our front page. We made it easy for you. Or even better, get your smartphone if you have it in your hand and point the camera at the QR code on your screen. That's going to lead you right to the nomination page. We're taking nominations through the last day of November, and then we're going to pick 4 finalists and feature their stories right here on KXAN. Our local winner is going to travel to LA for the National Remarkable Women winner is going to be chosen there.
As school districts continue to navigate teacher shortages, there's a new program from Austin Community College working to build a pipeline of local educators. ACC launched its teacher residency program this summer. More than a dozen candidates completed summer coursework before getting placed in a classroom for the school year. Right now, though, ACC is collaborating with 3 different school districts for candidate placements, hopes to build out those partnerships and attract even more candidates ahead of next school year.
We see the need for quality educators in our school systems and those that are going to stay in the system.
Those participating in the residency need to already have a bachelor's degree. They'll be paid as educational aides throughout the program. Now to a food recall safety alert that some parents may have seen online. Tyson Foods is recalling nearly 30,000 pounds of those dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets. But Texas, you should know this, is not on the list. The recall is because of the potential for small metal pieces within that product.
Okay, in Texas and several states, artificial intelligence is raising concern. In New Jersey, high school students there say they were stunned to learn that inappropriate photos of them were circulating among their classmates, mostly because those photos were completely fake. Nick Smith tells us what happened.
This is cyberbullying. It's bullying at the next level.
An AI photo controversy engulfing Westfield High School in New Jersey. Students at the school accused of using online AI tools to create digitally altered X-rated images of their female classmates.
And these boys think they're having fun and making these creations, and it's not real photography, but it's a real image and likeness of these girls, and it's putting them in a scenario, in a situation that is causing them harm and probably mental distress.
The Westfield School District released a statement to the local media, which reads, in part, all school districts are grappling with the challenges and impact of artificial intelligence and other technology available to students at any time and anywhere. We continue to strengthen our efforts by educating our students and establishing clear guidelines to ensure that these new technologies are used responsibly in our schools and beyond.
I'm not surprised that people are taking advantage of technology to harm other people. When they think it's a joke, it's not a joke.
According to Sensity AI, which offers deepfake detection services, 90% of all deepfakes on the internet are pornography. And experts say child pornography in particular is a growing problem as online AI tools are increasingly available for free with little more than a Google search.
Now in the digital age we live in, information is moving so quickly, and the trust factor, because you're looking at it so quickly, you trust everything. So, and once it's out there, it's out there. And so it is going to be very, very challenging for law enforcement to find bad actors.
And as we talked about last week, President Biden signed an executive order on artificial intelligence and then added, quote, to realize the promise of AI and avoid the risk, we need to govern this technology.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Good morning to you. A lot of Longhorn fans probably still processing that win over Kansas State on Saturday. Now they turn their attention to TCU this Saturday night. Longhorns now tied for first with only Oklahoma State. Texas stays number 7 in the AP poll. College football playoff poll comes out tomorrow, likely number 7 there as well. Kickoff in Fort Worth, 6:30. All right, Cowboys, first of 2 meetings with the Eagles, trying to hand Philly their second loss, so they'd be tied in the loss column. This was crazy. Cowboys down by 11, early fourth. They go for the touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker called a touchdown, and then they review it. Knee down, ball doesn't cross the plane. So Eagles get it back, can't do anything with it. Cowboys get it back now. You're under 6.5 to go. And Dak, touchdown, Jalen Tolbert. So you want to go for 2 and cut it to a 3-point game where a field goal ties it. So Dak rolling, and gets in. Called a successful conversion. Wait, they review it like all scoring plays, right foot out. Still a 5-point game. Cowboys get it back. This time 1:22 to go. Have to go for it on 4th, too high. You punt it back to the Eagles. Eagles go 3 and out. Cowboys use their timeouts. They get another chance, a bunch of penalties on this drive, and the Cowboys are in business right outside the 10-yard line. First down, and Dak, oh, it's tough. You can't take a sack with no timeouts. And then you fast forward to 3rd and 26. Got to get the ball in the end zone. Last chance. They get it to CeeDee Lamb, but he's short, loses the ball. Didn't matter. Cowboys lose the game, so they're handed their 3rd loss of the season. In Houston, Texans hosting Tampa Bay, and Baker Mayfield back at his home state. What a wild one this one is. Mayfield, the touchdown to take the lead with under 50 seconds to go to Cade Otton. So Texans, a great game from C.J. Stroud, but the rookie needs a magical drive here. With 39 seconds, they get it. Then they move it into Tampa Bay territory. And then look at this throw right between the defenders to Tank Dell. So now Texas in business to throw it at the end zone. And how about Stroud? Same hookup. Stroud, Dell, touchdown. Texans win. Stroud goes for 475 touchdowns, and they are at 500 at 4-4, and they'll take on the Bengals next week. Opening night in college basketball for the UT men tonight at Moody Center, 7 o'clock against Incarnate Word. Back to you.
Thank you, Roger. For those listening on the KXAN Today podcast, thank you so much for joining us. Here's what else we're tracking for you in the 5 a.m. hour. The city of Austin added a partnership with the city of Florence, Italy. What does that mean for us locally? A closer look at how the agreement is already making a major impact.